Jose is in there. Pedro throws a lazy kick with his hands down. He lands a beautiful straight right hand, drops him, gets in the clinch, just works the body, looking for an opportunity to spin him around, lands another beautiful uppercut that drops him, and he jumps right on him.
What's going on, everybody? We're back, and we have Jose Shorty Torres, a Titan FC Flyweight champion in the house. What's going on, Jose? Thanks for visiting us here at the Fight House.
Everything's great, man. Just in Denver, Colorado, training hard and just getting ready for the fight.
Beautiful, man. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. How's camping going? How's everything been?
Camp has been going great, man. Actually, I've been trying to really change my camp every single time and really improve it every single time. And so far, right now, and I can say this realistically, it is by far the best camp I've ever had. So I'm just really, really excited for May 19th.
I noticed you've been spending a lot of time up at Jackson Wink. Do you do that often, or is that just something you've done for this camp?
So I was at Jackson Wink probably about a month and a half, 2 months ago. I was training there for a month. The fight was originally scheduled for March 31st. It wasn't announced, but that was going to be the date. So I was there for a month just getting ready for the fight, and eventually got pushed back until May 19th. Went home for a little bit, and I've been in Denver, Colorado right now with Team Elevation, Muscle Farm, and Ludwig Martial Arts for about a month. And it's been amazing. The altitude at both places is ridiculous. The sparring partners right now, I'm sparring with TJ Dillishaw. When I was at Jackson Rink, it was John Dotson and a bunch of guys. So, I mean, I can't complain right now. Everything's been great.
It must be nice to have a guy like TJ at your disposal like that to help you prepare for fights. What's that done for your confidence as you head into this fight?
It really is awesome.
Sorry?
It really is awesome. TJ, I was here last time to help him for John Lineker.
Right.
Because I guess he's like, hey, man, you're the perfect look for him. You fight just like him. You're his size. You're very forward. And, I felt because of training with him, I was able to dispose of Pedro Nobre so easily. I was like, oh, wait, you're going to stand right in front of me? This is awesome. I mean, TJ does nothing but move around. He's throwing punches and kicks from so many different angles. You don't even know where they're coming from. So, I felt that it helped so much in the fight that, I wanted to do it again, and I believe it's going to help me so much against Farkhad Sharipov.
You've had probably one of the quickest rises I've seen in MMA coming up through the ranks. You're only 4-0 right now, and you're about to successfully, most likely or possibly, grab a second division. Talk about that quick rise, man. Like, how have you stayed grounded, and have you been surprised at how quick all of this has unfolded for you?
Well, it's awesome, man. It's something I tell a lot of the amateurs is, the reason why I've done so well as a professional is because I was able to get so many accomplishments and build a lot of accolades as an amateur. If it wasn't for my amateur career, I wouldn't have been as respected as I was as a professional. Immediately I was signed to Titan FC compared to doing a lot of local fights, fighting for a little money, and then slowly, hopefully getting recognized by a big promotion like Titan or LFA or, promotions like that. So it's been awesome, man. I've had tough fights, very, very quick. I haven't fought besides maybe my pro debut was the only guy who was a pro debut guy with me. I mean, my second fight, the guy had 16 pro fights. Velasquez was 7-2, and if he would have won that fight, he would have been called up to the UFC, or at least what rumor has it. And my next fight defending him was a guy 18-2, Pedro Nobre, who's never been knocked out before. So it's been real hard, but I've realistically taken the proper fights. Even though they're all tough fights, it's fights that I knew I was able to handle because of my amateur resume. If it wasn't for all the experience I had as an amateur, I definitely wouldn't be where I'm at today. But I worked hard for it. Even though it's only been 4 fights, I worked hard for it, not just inside the cage, but outside the cage as well. I promote myself really well. I do a lot of networking, and I do a lot of social media stuff that gets the fans involved as well to let people know that, I'm a real athlete, and I'm really trying to do my thing and trying to promote myself as much as possible.
You started off at Bantamweight, and then you moved down and took the opportunity given to you at Flyweight. How's it feel to be back up at Bantamweight and like without having to do such a severe weight cut and everything? What's it like to go back to 135? How are you feeling?
It feels awesome. The best thing about it, man, is, the first time I made Flyweight, at least as a professional, in college, I did really struggle. I was very, very traumatized by it because of college wrestling, and I didn't know how to do it correctly. So, I did it all the worst ways possible. definitely the illegal ways and the NCAA rules, and it just, wasn't healthy whatsoever. So when I turned pro working with Louis Giordano, nutrition, my first 2 fights were at 35 because I just wanted to get comfortable. I didn't think I was going to go flyweight again, and noticing, I was like, man, bantamweight's super easy to make, but these guys are really, really big. And then I got the opportunity to go down. Even Lex McMahon knew I was, I was meant to be a flyweight, and they both convinced me to go down. And the first time I made flyweight against Aldir Velasquez, and I won the interim belt, it was a little hard, but it was so much easier than any other time I made it. But you can tell my body was still a little drained, kind of like Conor McGregor making flyweight. You can tell it's just a weight class that maybe he shouldn't be at. Mm-hmm. And, I did it. I made weight. And then the second time when I fought Pedro Nopra, I had so much more knowledge on it. I took more precautions. I was a lot more focused. And I even, during the fight, I can say I even looked full. I looked even a little chubby at times. I was like, oh, man, I feel healthy. This is awesome. So being at bantamweight right now, there's no such thing as a weight cut for this. There's no such thing as drastic, I have to lose 5 pounds in one day or whatever the case may be. I'm just healthy, living day by day, and this is, even though I didn't have to worry about my last camp about the weight cut, this is the first time 100% that I legit don't have to worry about a weight cut. I'm only about, right now, like 8 pounds out, and I still have, I believe 15, 16 days until weigh-in. So once I get home next week, on Monday, I'm pretty much just working on my weight, just moving down, running a little more, putting the weight down day by day. And I'm probably going to wake up 2 or 3 days before the fight already on weight. So I'm just excited, man. It's awesome to know that I can just more focus on the fight than my actual weight.
And didn't your first weight cut down to flyweight? Didn't you end up having to cut like an extra 2 pounds or something? I think I remember you saying that to me before. You actually had cut down to 123.
I had to weigh 123.
What's that?
I weighed 123.
Yeah, I remember you said they said their scales were off, so you're out doing extra runs and stuff, made it a little bit tougher for the first cut. It's always nice, huh?
Yeah, it's one of those things that at the time, nutrition was having problems with his clients not making weight, and I wanted to prove to people, mainly making flyweight for the first time, that even though I'm not as big as some of his UFC clientele, I wanted to show people that the nutrition lifestyle does work if you follow it 100%. Mm-hmm. And even though I was already at weight, the scale said that I was technically on that scale 127. I did extra work to get down, and I don't know, I stepped on the scale and I weighed 123. So it shows that the lifestyle worked, and it shows that I was committed to make a weight no matter how low I needed to go. I wanted to get the job done, and I feel as a professional, regardless if I'm working with somebody like nutrition or whatever weight management specialist, I'm going to make weight. I'm a professional, and that was my job. And, it sucks, but, hey, man, I don't have to worry about that problem now. Being a bantamweight's a dream.
Sweet. And that's the one thing about, I was going to ask you, too, about bantamweights. You have naturally, you're very aggressive. You bring a high tempo, and you generally break a lot of guys as the fight goes on, if it lasts that long. Are you going to be even more aggressive? Are we going to see like a real advanced like 2.0 Shorty Torres when you step in there with Farkhad?
I definitely hope so. We'll definitely find out May 19th. Fingers crossed. But the cool thing here, was it on Tuesday? Last Tuesday, TJ and I sparred 5 rounds. The cameras are there, so him and I both got a little egotistical and just we had a lot of fun. And because of the altitude and how hard we were going, it was pretty much a fight. We were going back and forth and just going hard. And the 5th round, because of how fast and how hard we were going, we both couldn't even handle our own pace. So we were just exhausted. And, we put it pretty much balls to the wall where the camera guys were looking at each other like, so we just stopped filming because it looks bad now. We've been working really, really hard in the way TJ fights, the way I fight. We counteract each other very, very well. And, man, I'm telling you, when I say this is the best camp I've ever had, I can say that 100%. This is easily the best camp I've ever had, mainly when it comes to personal training and strength and conditioning. I've never done programs like this before, and TJ's really been hooking me up and helping me out with programs like this. So, I'm easily going to look like a bantamweight fighter. And hopefully at the end of the day, May 19th, I'm easily going to look like the bantamweight champion.
All of this, the step up in competition, everyone is in your pursuit to get to the UFC. You finished Pedro Nopra quickly. You did it impressively. Do you feel any pressure to end this one in spectacular fashion? Like, do you feel the pressure that I have to keep up that same type of performance?
It's a 50-50 because when I talked to the UFC after I knocked out Pedro Nova, they're like, dude, you did exactly what we wanted you to do. We saw you fight a high veteran, a UFC vet, a guy that has nothing but experience, and your prospect coming up. That's exactly what we want prospects to do. The only bad thing is you did too well. We wanted to see you possibly lose first or second round and really come back, kind of like a Disney movie, But the thing is, I was able to put on a performance, and I thought that's what the UFC wants, mainly at the flyweight division. They want excitement. They want knockout artists, and that's what I want to do. So for me, it's kind of like if I knock out Farkhad Sharipov in the first round, does the UFC tell me the same thing? Do they go, hey, man, we want to see you struggle? Well, if you want to see me struggle, let me fight the top 10 guy in the UFC, and that'll be my opportunity, hopefully. But, right now I'm just doing my thing, and I'm trying to give the UFC a deal that's hard to say no to. I want to give them an offer they can't refuse, and being a two-weight class champion for promotion that's never been done before, mainly at a guy that at the time, hopefully I'll be 5-0. It's never been done in history, mainly with my accolades as an amateur. Right now I am the Vasyl Lomachenko for MMA, and I've already got one world championship at 3 fights. I've already defended it at 4, and I want to be able to get a new one at 5. So right now I'm trying to show the UFC that I'm a force to be reckoned with, and I'm trying to show that hey man, I'm ready to put on a show, whether it's at 25, 35, and I'm ready for the challenge. I don't care if I win or lose. I just want to put on a show and show people that, I'm ready to just put on a great performance and entertain the fans.
Speaking of the fight itself, you're going in there against Farkhad Sharipov, tough guy, durable guy. What do you know about him, and how do you feel you match up with him?
It's funny. I haven't watched much film on him. I was actually supposed to watch film on him today. I've only seen his fights twice, and I know he's a durable opponent. I know he's never been finished, whether it be submission or TKO knockout. He's just a guy who does enough to win and who does enough not to get finished. He's just a resilient guy, and he likes to put on the show as well. I did find his fight against Andrew Whitney a little boring, but he did enough just to win, and hey, a W is a W at the end of the day, and I can't refuse that. But overall, against me, like you did say earlier, people do fold under the pressure, and sometimes, hell, I'm not even sure if I can handle my pace because that's how hard I go. That's just me. I like to put on a show, man. I am the Mexican-style fighter with the Puerto Rican technique. I like to put on a show, and Farkhad Sharipov, he is longer, he is taller, he's technically bigger. But the way I've been training and the people I've been training with, I know he's not training with the likes of TJ Dillishaw, John Dodson, the guys that have my level of experience that I'm training with. I'm not too worried about the fight, but I'm really, really hoping that it goes, somewhat at a distance and we can put on a show, but I'm calling it third round TKO.
Third round TKO, that's the prediction, huh?
That's my prediction. He's a good fighter, and I think this is exactly what I called with Pedro Nova. It was a third round TKO because I thought he was going to use experience to get out of certain predicaments and even, baffle me at some times where you can tell he can adapt to some things because I know he can. But Pedro Nova folded under the pressure, and I was able to time him because I knew I was faster than him, and I knew that he was going to do the same thing over and over and over again, and that's what he did. I'm hoping that Farkhad Sharipov can give me the challenge, can put me in a 5-round distance because that's what I want to face now early in my career instead of later, so I can be used to it now. But I do believe Farkhad Sharipov will fold under the pressure. He's 32 years old. He's already at the end of his prime. He's already slowly, his career is slowly diminishing. He's 17-7, and the guys he's beaten haven't been over 500, really. They've been very, very average records, and the guys he's lost to, no offense to those guys, but they're not really anywhere high in their career yet. So, so far, I think it's a very, very winnable fight for me. I just got to, show it May 19th.
He does have a bit of professional boxing experience, I believe. Are you going to employ the same type of strategy, just kind of walk him down, stay in his face, heavy pressure, or are you going to be a bit more leery of the hands and maybe implement some of your grappling?
For me, I do like to, stand and bang. I do like the whole boxing aspect of MMA. I know Farkhad Sharipov was a professional boxer. That's something I've always wanted to do, and I really want to test my skills against that. But that's something I thrive off of. I really do thrive off of people panicking and people, kind of just going with the flurry. That's something that I really work on with TJ Dillishaw is, he has the speed. He has the versatility of changing into stances and moving from different place to place on where he's at in the cage. For me, I always need to pressure him, and I always need to be right in his face, and that's exactly what I'm going to do against Farkhad Sharipov. I strive for the close battle, and if we end up grappling to the ground, then we end up grappling to the ground, and I get to show people stuff that I haven't really showed yet. But I would like a stand-up show, and that's something I know the fans would definitely enjoy too.
I know I definitely will, man. You guys both have an exciting style, so I think it's going to be a good matchup. One thing I'm asking everybody on the show tonight is about the professional fight league. Now, I know you've been adamant about wanting to go to the UFC, but what have you heard about the PFL, and what do you think about what they're up to?
Is the PFL the tournament where if you win it, you win $1 million?
Yes, sir. That's the one.
Yeah, I think that's awesome because it shows a lot of recognition of how fast the sport's growing and how much more publicity these fighters need. I mean, we don't get paid much. So a lot of these fighters, I mean, there's been so much promotion on that because it's $1 million. I mean, Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz, and only a handful of fighters have made, at least in MMA, $1 million per fight. It's really ridiculous how little we do get paid. Again, we put our life on the line, not just when we fight, but when we go to sparring and practice every single day, because we do live in a very, very tough sport. And, for these guys like myself, I don't have a side job. I don't work. This is my full-time job. And trust me, I don't get paid much anyway. So for this, to have this PFL and to have $1 million stake at the prize, I think it's amazing, man. Whether or not you win or lose a tournament, just to be able to be in a tournament like that and be recognized as one of the best in the world, I think that's amazing.
And well, is that something that you would even consider? Like when you look at yourself, you're like, okay, I'm a 2-weight world champion. I'm easily one of the best 125 pounds, and if you win, one of the best 135 pounders in the world. Like I'm gonna go throw my hat in here. Like I'm gonna go give this $1 million a shot. Is that something you would consider?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if they definitely talk to me and bring up the right offers and see what's up, I mean, I'm more than happy to do it. The UFC is right now kind of shunned me away. I've been denied by them twice in 1 week, surprisingly, which really, really sucks. But right now I'm just trying to look for the next best thing. If the UFC is not offering me a deal, then the PFL is probably the next best thing for me.
When you say shunned by them twice in 1 week, tell everyone what you mean by that. Like, what are you talking twice in the same week? A lot of people probably don't know.
All right. Well, so when I won my fight against Pedro Nova, again, a guy who was 18-2, never been finished, went to distance with Tim Elliott, I was able to knock out Pedro Nova in 86 seconds. So I thought that was my call up. We called Nick Maynard. Nick Maynard is the flyweight matchmaker, and he literally said, "Who's Jose Shorty Torres?" And I go, "Cool. That's off to a great start." And then Sean Shelby says, "Hey, that's great, but he's only 4-0. He needs more fights." Okay, that's fine. Now, later on in the week, Ian McCall's opponent had to back out. Ian McCall was the number 6 ranked guy at the flyweight division, needed a replacement in a 2-week notice. Well, I just fought. I'm healthy. I didn't get beat up, and I'm very close to weight. Let's do it. Let's maybe this could be my call up, a last-minute fight. I get a call from Sean Shelby after calling him back, and he says, "Dude, we just don't want you right now. You have to get more fights." So I was denied by them twice in 1 week, which really, really sucked. But it also shows that, hey, man, I'm really trying to get into the UFC. 2, I don't care who I'm fighting. Ian McCall is a top opponent. He was a UFC contender once, and, he's the number 6 guy in the world. I'm trying to show them that I'm ready to fight anyone. I don't care if it's Demetrius Johnson, my first fight, or, whomever else. So I was denied by them twice in 1 week, but I'm trying to give the UFC an offer they can't refuse, and that's me beating Farkhad Sharipov and being a 2-weight class champion only at 5-0.
So, when these things happen, like what comes after this then? You can only step it up so far, right? Pedro Nova was 18-2. He was a UFC vet. You need a bigger fight. They're hard to come by when a guy's 18-2 and he's got some experience in the UFC. But you find Farkhad Sharipov, it's another title on the line, 2-division champion. Big fight. But what comes after that if they don't take you now? Like, where do you find a bigger fight than that?
Yeah, that's the question I've been thinking of right now. I'm not trying to think too far into that because I don't want to look over Farkhad Sharipov because I do have that problem of looking over people. But for me, if I do beat Farkhad Sharipov, I claim 2 belts at 5-0, and the UFC does deny me, then I have to look at other places. The UFC is really, in a sense, and I would take it as disrespect because I believe I've done a lot of things as an amateur. I feel like I've done everything right, more than what I should be doing. Definitely more than what anyone else has ever done before. And mainly at 5-0, doing what I've done as a professional. No one's ever done that before. So not being able to get the call up when I know other people have been called up at 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 without any belts, without any major accolades. They're only being called up because they're connected with big-time gyms, like, for example, Team Elevation or Jackson Wink or Team Alpha or whatever the case may be. Then I got to look for other things in my life. So hopefully I get the UFC call up, but if they don't call me, then I got to figure things out and figure out what's next.
Listen, man, I really want to thank you for taking some time to talk with me today. I really appreciate it. It's always a good conversation with you, Jose. Wish you all the luck in the world in the fight, man, and hopefully we can talk again soon. Thanks for coming on the Fight House.
I appreciate it, man. It's always a pleasure, and I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Can't wait to do it again, buddy. Good luck in the fight.
Thank you. Take care of yourself.
All right, man, you too. Take care.